Uh, I I do get the chance to like try some new tricks and stuff, and try some new um and like try like new sounds, new stuff, longer sets, which isn't a thing I normally do. I'm normally 10 minutes and I'm out. But uh, I've been playing, 15 minutes, sometimes even longer than that with these sets. So like it's and also like the live just using the OBS live streaming technology lets me do it lets me employ some tricks and stuff that I don't get to do in a live setting. And also, I can do it way more because I don't have to one clear my schedule to then go to a place and do this. I can just if I want to live stream a set, plug all my stuff in, and I'm there. So it's a lot easier. I can try some stuff that I normally wouldn't live or can't do live because it's in person.
Kitsch Magic, how are you doing during this pandemic? Has it made you more creative? Claire says, well, I've definitely been conflicted. The quarantine, plus the uneasy state of the world in general, has been driving me pretty insane in a lot of ways. But at the same time, I consider myself and my family pretty lucky. We still have jobs and we're doing the best we can to stay on stable footing. And the extra free time has absolutely made me more creative, or at the very least it's helped me force myself to be more creative. Although in the past few weeks I've surprisingly been spending more time drawing and writing and doing graphic design stuff, instead of just focusing on my usual noisy output. That's not to say I've neglected noise, though. Smiley face.
The thing is, it's weird. Like, I feel like noise is like the only, like, I haven't seen any other scene like having anything like positive happen. Well, I don't want to say this is positive because, there's a lot of like more real life repercussions than like music, but like for me, obviously it hasn't been good like outside of that, but for my project, I'm just like, people are listening to me now.
Kitsch Magic, how are you doing during this pandemic? Has it made you more creative? Dave Michael, overall, I'm holding up in quarantine better than I thought I would. I don't feel like it's made me more or less creative more than it's made me kinda shift focus, and maybe rest a little more often. Starting from the end of March and going all the way through the summer, I have plans for shows, both at home in Philly and out of town, and tours that I've been extremely excited about. Most of those have been cancelled, or soon to be cancelled. The time I would have spent on those is now going towards live stream shows, working on new releases and finishing up stuff I already had going on, and, for once, not running myself ragged in the process.
So yeah, it's I have to say this, and I can't. This is sort of like the thing that I can't say this without. I can't say the next part without saying this first. Like, I am amazing. I feel, for the lack of better words, at the moment, I feel sort of blessed in my position to where I am able to do things at home and everything like that. I'm just at home now, and I feel very happy about that because I'm a very solitary person. And to answer your question, yeah, I've just been doing stuff, creative stuff, it's just like, and I'm like being like a very solitary person as well. This is socially, it's not as different as what I was doing before this. So I just have more time to just like, let it all sort of out, So yeah, it is like this a unique burst of creativity, and I'm cherishing every second of it, because God knows, when the next time I'll be able to spend a bunch of time inside. Not that there's going to be a horrific virus that results in the death of thousands of people. But yeah, it's kind of weird. It's bittersweet, because I try to at least stay conscious of the things that are going on in the outside world, but at the same time, yeah, I a lot of creativity, a lot of stuff is getting done. So yeah.
Kitsch Magic, how are you doing during this pandemic? Has it made you more creative? Lefzisk, I have chronic acute depression, and it has reared its head in certain ways. I count myself lucky to have learned healthy coping mechanisms, and that I have a truly supportive group of people around me. Part of the coping mechanisms I apply are to pour myself into a project. This has really helped in this time. Right before the pandemic, I started a new art series, and this has allowed me the time to dive in and develop the idea. However, like I said before, unfortunately a lot of the stores where I buy materials are closed. This has both slowed the actual creation of things, but has also helped me to see new uses in things that I already have.
I don't want to make music about it. As weird as that is. I've made some.
Kitsch Magic, how are you doing during this pandemic? Has it made you more creative? Sean Rat, I'm doing okay, insofar as I'm still symptom-free and able to work from home. The distance from other people has pulled some good poetry out of me, I think. On Saturday, I'll be tracking theremin from home for at least 4 different artists, a process I'm looking forward to.
Person who has access to all this technology, so it's a lot easier for me to just keep things rolling, or rather change course a little bit, go to the live stream format, as opposed to Ben's, where all those people don't live in the same place, and then they would have to meet, and then that's just not really possible or advisable right now. So me and other people who are solo projects and like have easy access to the technology and have roommates who are willing to put up with them, are able to just keep going, even though live shows are shut down.
Kitsch Magic, how are you doing during this pandemic? Has it made you more creative? Corey Curly Swope, I'm very okay, could be a lot worse. I'm very thankful for my partner and roommates for being awesome people to be stranded with. I can't say for sure if it's made more creative as much as it has pushed me to create art and write music. I'm trying hard to make at least 1 art piece or song a day, because I'm a very routine person, and I know if I stop I just won't do anything.
Yes and no. Like I've made a lot less music, but I've been working on a lot more instruments, and I had kind of like a breakthrough with circuit bending recently, and I can think about that a completely different way than I used to before, and I can do a whole lot more things to the point where like I get caught up in adding too many things to a toy, or like I run out of room for switches, or like run out of parts and stuff like that just because I have too many ideas. But I don't know. This is kind of my normal, anyways. It's just like hanging out with me and my cat and soldering things and making noise. I just can't go see my friends now, and that kind of sucks. But
they were both kind of nerve-wracking at first for me, and because I work tech support, I know how badly things can break, and I know how disastrous they can be, and I'm generally able to stay calm in those situations, but I deal with a lot of people that don't. So once I'd kind of gotten the whole live stream thing like down to a science, it's a lot less nerve-wracking. I mean, I can't see the people, but like, I still know that people are watching most of the time. But live, at least like in person for me, is still more nerve-wracking, especially if like I'm in like a familiar place, or if I don't know anybody there. But again, like I have that somewhat down pat too.
Kitsch Magic, how are you doing during this pandemic? Has it made you more creative? Garrett Bash, the pandemic sucks obviously, but I've been trying to use this time inside to focus on things that I don't always get to, like hanging out with my pets and art. As far as what this has done for me creatively, I don't know if has made me more creative, but it has given me adequate time to work on my album, which I appreciate since I am usually super slow when it comes to completing recordings. LOL.
I mean, who knows when shows are going to start again, right? So, I mean, it could be 2 years from now. Also, this is something I was thinking the other day was if we don't have shows for like 2 years, won't all the venues kind of close? Right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of terrifying. So who knows? Yeah, this might, even after this is all over, if there's no venues, this still might be going on. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like some people have done some cool stuff with it, and I feel like there are people that just said fuck it and kind of went in on it and did a good job. But I don't know, man. I'm really critical of myself with live shows. Like I've had some bad live shows. I've had some good ones, but I've had some bad live shows. And when I have bad live shows, they stick with me for a while. So I'm like, I could have a bad live show during this and potentially more people will see it. And even if I do, I'm going to be real. Even if I do bad at a show, sometimes at least there's volume to cover that up. You know what I mean? Like, but if I do this in my living room, A, it's bad, and B, it's in my living room. So I'm like, I look stupid on two fronts if I fuck this up. And I'm not talking about anybody else. I haven't seen anybody fuck up their live sets. But me personally, I just kind of have that like really mess this up in front of a lot of people. And I'm like, I'd kind of rather take the time while this whole thing's going on. I don't know when we're gonna have live shows again. It might be, whenever. I'm not sure. It could be a long ass time, but I would rather take the time to kind of refine things and, kind of get my live show like geared up for when that starts and when I can really like come back at full force and kind of do something that's not all the way there for me personally. A lot of people are pulling it off, and maybe I sound like I'm full of shit saying that, whatever. It's just kind of how I see it. Like there's some, it's just the way I play live personally, the normal sets I do, they wouldn't come across the way I want them to. The volume, the presentation, everything, it's kind of like, it's not, and it's not going to come across the way I want it to. So I'm kind of like, I personally, don't want to stream, a set that's not going to sound good because I'm going to, either not be playing as loud as I want, and that's going to fuck me up, or I'm going to be playing as loud as I want and you're not going to hear anything through the phone. So I'm just like, I'm going to wait it out. That's my thing. I'm going to wait it out. And when shows get back up and running, I'll be playing shows then.
Yeah, it's gonna.
Or like the way I thought of it was like, since I was doing much longer streams and stuff too, was like, I'm not performing. These are just kind of a look into like experiments I would be doing in my house anyways.